Hey there, everybody. I'm CCP Dolan here with CCP Rise, bringing you Verge of Collapse versus the Initiative. And man, do we have expensive steps from both teams.
Yep.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about them?
Yeah, this is what the Alliance Tournament's all about. Both these teams on the edge of getting knocked out have to bring something awesome. The Initiative have brought two Balgorns, one of which is their flagship, the one piloted by Tin. And on the Verge of Collapse side, we have an ATXI. The prize ships they won for winning last year's tournament, an incredibly powerful one-of-a-kind, well, not one-of-a-kind, 50-of-a-kind logistics ship worth an enormous amount of money. That ship probably worth, I don't know, anywhere between 30 and 80 billion-isk. It's hard to say. I don't know how many have been sold, but not cheap at all. And it is named First ATXI Lost Inc. So Verge obviously have a good attitude about bringing this to the tournament. And we are underway. There's bombs in the air.
Bombs
how much
in the
more
air
could you ask
from
for?
the purifiers. They're going to catch
Let's see if that does anything.
absolutely nothing. Excellent bomb run there, Initiative. No. Hopefully they'll have void bombs because we have a sort of pseudo tinker here from Verge of Collapse. They've had push their support out to try and do some DPS on this Guardian, try and take it down. Meanwhile, they're holding their Rattlesnake, Vulture, and ATXI back in reserve to try and just maintain an ultra rep power with that strength of the ATXI. But that Guardian is going down already in half armor.
Yeah, they are crushing that Guardian. Initiative trying to work on some of the support for Verge. They want to probably get the Guardian free from tackle, so they're trying to kill Hawks. ATXI having no problem keeping him up. The ATXI is damped, but obviously having no problem keeping reps up. And the Guardian is not doing very well for the Initiative. He looks like he's going to go down any moment here.
Yeah, they just don't have any anti-frig damage here. Balgorns and Purifiers and Vengeances, not known for their huge anti-frig damage.
Vengeances are good, but 3 Vengeances not going to have an easy time breaking through the reps. The Purifiers obviously not so good, and the Balgorns are okay. There goes the Guardian.
Mastercon, and Okinawa
Instantly
going down.
A Purifier dropping after the Guardian goes down. They'll probably kill off these other 2 Purifiers. Verge looking really, really comfortable right now.
Yeah, I don't know if fighting the Frigs was the move there. I think you just got to motor in and put your flagship Balgorn on the ATXI. At least kill the ATXI, Initiative. Go, go, go. But no, we have just a support war being won by just drone backup from those Rattlesnakes.
Yeah, Rattlesnakes, of course, getting a drone damage bonus, so they're putting out tons of damage. Tracking, more of an issue for them than for the Dominixes, same with range, but they're having no trouble here. Killing things off pretty quickly. And, you know, you say, and it obviously didn't work out to do this, they should have burned across and tried to put some damage on the core of the Verge team. Verge is protected by an extremely tough and resilient support wing.
Yep.
That huge assault frig wing would be so hard to get through. There's webs all over the place. Verge of Collapse just dominating the Initiative right now.
Yeah, and no, they didn't have any way to push back the ATXI reps. They need
They had
something.
damps, but they didn't have enough, obviously.
They didn't have enough. They might have had remote sensor boosters on those Rattlesnakes or
very
anywhere.
likely. Yep.
On the Vulture potentially or somewhere. But wow, the support wing wiped off the field, and they've left no damage on the flagship Balgorn. I really want to know how expensive that Balgorn is because I don't think it's long for this world.
Probably not. It looks like Verge is probably not going to take hardly any damage even in this fight, just utterly destroying the Initiative team. We can't explain flagships. We didn't do it earlier, but basically each team gets to declare a ship type as their flagship and then declare that ship when they bring it to a match. It's allowed to fit a whole range of modules that are more expensive and have higher performance than the normal Tech 2 that's allowed in the tournament. The big drawback being that if you lose your flagship, you cannot bring it again, so you only get one for the tournament. And the other big benefit being that the flagship is immune to bans. So had Balgorns been banned in this match, the Initiative would still be able to bring that flagship. But looks like they're going to lose the flagship and lose their chances here in the tournament as Verge just destroys this Initiative setup.
Maybe Verge will ransom the flagship. But I'll keep my eye on local just for that, just in case. But really, maybe Verge of Collapse has shown bringing a free win. So actually, Verge brings a custom Alliance tournament ship. Pandemic Legion also brings a custom Alliance ship, both versus the Initiative. Pandemic Legion loses theirs. Verge stronger than Pandemic Legion?
Maybe. But both teams actually winning against the Initiative, which is the important thing.
Yeah.
It's pretty much always the case, maybe the exception being the Minmatar one, the Mimir. The tournament ships are just extremely good. It makes the team so dangerous to be able to field ships like Cambions, Adrestias, Itanas especially. And as we get closer and closer to the end of this tournament, I think we're going to be seeing more and more of these ships and hopefully seeing more and more of them get killed.
Absolutely.
As we go on.
We see Morven here dropping into low armor. A regular Balgorn is expensive enough.
Yes, they're not cheap. And of course, all of these ships have to be bought on Tranquility for normal ISK, and the losses count. So
every loss here is a real loss on Tranquility.
Yep.
We have an exhibition match later. If anybody wants to bring a Titan and lose that to a boundary violation, that'll be a real Titan loss. We have the Balgorn of Tinta here caught. He's not going to be long for this world, unfortunately. But the initiative, one of those alliances that's big enough and has enough money to really field an expensive flagship. So who knows what's fit on that. But unfortunately, that Balgorn hasn't got to do a single thing pretty much the whole match.
I mean, even though this obviously was a really commanding performance by Verge, I think the initiative was in a really tough spot. They were going to lose the Guardian. That Assault Frag wing is probably enough to kill it on its own, and you have Rattlesnakes applying damage from the back. Initiative's only real option was to try to kill those Assault Frags, and they just weren't able to. Like you said, I'm sure there was remote sensor boosters supporting the Atana. He was able to keep reps up. The resist bonuses on those Assault Frags make it really tough to get through them, and there isn't a huge amount of anti-support coming from this initiative setup. So they were just in tough shape. They had very few options, and I think a lot of credit ought to go to Verge for having such a strong plan here.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, if you're gonna bring your tournament ship, you might as well have a really strong plan.
Yeah.
A ship that costs as much as a Titan, you should really have a good plan when you bring it.
So flagship Balgorn about to drop for the initiative. They will, of course, be eliminated from the tournament. Verge will move on, and initiative did a great job here, killing an Utu last week. No small feat, and getting pretty close to the end of the tournament. No small feat either, but Verge of Collapse looking really, really, really good here. I wonder if they'll bring this again.
Absolutely. I suspect they might bring a different Atana-based shield set. This is the first shield set they've brought all tournament long. And, of course, they are now handily looting the field, sucking up all those flagship modules as they go.
And I feel like I should say the initiative setup, now that I think about it, now that you mentioned that, is really strong against what Verge usually brings. Balgorn's really good against Vindicators, Cronoses, Megathrons, Navy Dummies, which are the kind of thing that Verge usually likes.
Purifier's really good.
Purifier's really good. So I think their setup is really well thought out. It fits really well against kind of the standard Verge team. And Verge made a really nice move here in bringing the shield setup.
Yep, that's going to be the end of the match. The initiative knocked out of the tournament. Verge of Collapse continuing on. Maybe a Cinderella story from them. Coming back to possibly win Alliance Tournament 11 as well. Going to throw it back to CCP Soundwave and the guys in the studio.